In the quiet town of Ravenswood, a family moved into an old, decrepit mansion on the outskirts of town. Unbeknownst to them, the house had a dark history, whispered about by the locals. As they settled in, strange occurrences began to plague the family, setting the stage for the horror that was about to unfold. At night, shadows moved through the halls of the mansion, their forms unnatural and menacing. The family dismissed these sightings as mere imagination, but the shadows grew bolder, creeping into their rooms and leaving an overwhelming sense of dread in their wake. Whispers echoed through the empty corridors, their words indecipherable yet filled with malice. Family members woke in the dead of the night, convinced they heard their names being called in a ghostly voice. The once cozy home now felt suffocating, its walls seemingly closing in on them. Apparitions appeared, flickering into view and then vanishing with an eerie glow. The family caught glimpses of specters in old-fashioned clothing, their eyes empty voids of despair. The children, initially curious, grew terrified of their own home, avoiding certain rooms where the apparitions seemed to linger. A bone-chilling cold permeated the house, regardless of the season. No amount of heating could dispel the icy tendrils that wrapped around anyone who dared to venture into certain areas. Even in the midst of summer, the rooms held a frigid atmosphere, making it impossible to find comfort within the mansion's walls. Objects began to move on their own accord. Plates flew off shelves, chairs toppled over without warning, and books slammed shut as if guided by an unseen force. The family tried to rationalize these events, blaming faulty wiring and drafty windows, but deep down, they knew something far more sinister was at play. Family members started having disturbing dreams, all featuring a gaunt figure cloaked in darkness. The figure whispered promises of eternal suffering and despair, its hollow eyes filled with an otherworldly hunger. Each night, the dreams became more vivid, seeping into waking hours, blurring the line between nightmare and reality. Symbols etched in blood-red paint appeared on the walls, cryptic and foreboding. The family discovered occult markings hidden beneath layers of wallpaper, symbols of a dark ritual that had once taken place within those very walls. As they tried to erase the markings, they found them reappearing overnight, as if the house itself resisted their attempts to cleanse it. The whispers grew louder, taking on a demonic tone that sent shivers down the family's spines. The words spoke of ancient curses and vengeful spirits, promising eternal torment to anyone who dared to inhabit the house. Desperation settled in as the family realized they were not dealing with a mere haunting but something far more malevolent. Fearing for their safety, the family called in paranormal investigators, hoping for answers and a way to rid themselves of the malevolent presence. The investigators, armed with an array of ghost-hunting gadgets, ventured into the house, their skepticism slowly replaced by terror as they witnessed objects moving without explanation and heard voices from the ethereal realm. Through extensive research, the investigators unveiled the dark past of the house. It was revealed that a cult had once occupied the mansion, performing unspeakable rituals in a bid to open a gateway to the underworld. The leader of the cult, a man obsessed with dark arts, had vanished mysteriously, leaving behind a curse that lingered within the very foundation of the house. In an attempt to communicate with the spirits, the investigators conducted a séance. They lit candles and joined hands, calling out to the other side. At first, there was silence, but then the room grew icy cold, and a spectral figure materialized in their midst. The figure, the long-lost cult leader, snarled in rage, blaming the living for disturbing his eternal rest. During the séance, one of the investigators was possessed by the vengeful spirit of the cult leader. His eyes turned a deep shade of red, and his voice became a guttural growl. The possessed investigator spoke in ancient tongues, uttering curses and prophecies of doom. The others struggled to break the possession, their efforts met with violent resistance from the malevolent entity. With the possessed investigator growing stronger, the team sought the help of a seasoned exorcist. Armed with holy relics and ancient prayers, the exorcist delved into the heart of the haunting. The entity resisted fiercely, hurling furniture and shrouding the room in darkness. The exorcism became a battle of wills. The forces of light pitted against the darkness of the underworld. In a burst of blinding light, the exorcist finally managed to banish the vengeful spirit from the possessed investigator. The room fell silent, the oppressive atmosphere lifting for the first time in months. The investigators and the family members, exhausted and emotionally drained, realized that the battle was far from over, but they had gained a momentary respite. The investigators discovered a cursed relic hidden within the house, a sacrilegious artifact used by the cult in their rituals. The relic pulsed with unholy energy, its presence corrupting the very air around it. Realizing that destroying the relic was the key to breaking the curse, the investigators embarked on a perilous journey to find a way to neutralize its malevolent power. Guided by ancient texts, the investigators devised a forbidden ritual to neutralize the cursed relic. The ritual required a delicate balance of light and darkness, drawing upon the power of both to counteract the artifact's evil aura. As they chanted the incantations and performed the ritual, the house shook with fury, its very foundation rebelling against the attempt to cleanse its tainted soul. In a blinding explosion of light, the relic shattered into 1,000 pieces. The malevolent energy dissipated, leaving the investigators and the family members gasping for breath. It seemed for a moment that the curse had been broken, that the house had other plans. It retaliated with a final, desperate onslaught of paranormal activity, as if angered by the loss of its corrupted heart. Doors slammed shut, trapping the investigators and the family members in different parts of the mansion. Furniture levitated, swirling in a chaotic dance of poltergeist activity. The walls groaned, and the very ground trembled beneath their feet. It was as if the house itself had come alive, its wrath unleashed in a torrent of supernatural fury. In a moment of selflessness, one of the family members, possessed by a newfound determination, sacrificed themselves to appease the house's wrath. With a final prayer, they faced the full brunt of the supernatural onslaught, shielding the others from the house's fury. Their sacrifice created a brief opening, allowing the investigators to perform a final, desperate ritual to cleanse the house once and for all. Gathering all their strength, the investigators chanted the incantations of the final ritual. The words resonated with ancient power, echoing through the mansion's halls. The house fought back, its malevolent energy surging against the ritual's cleansing force. The very air crackled with tension as the battle between light and darkness reached its climax. In a blinding burst of pure light, the ritual reached its peak. The house shrieked, its walls trembling as if in agony. The malevolent presence, bound to the cursed relic for centuries, was torn apart, banished to the darkest corners of the spiritual realm. The mansion, once a bastion of evil, stood cleansed and free from the supernatural taint that had plagued it for generations. With the curse lifted, the mansion became still. The once haunted halls were silent, and the atmosphere, once heavy with malevolence, lightened. The family members and investigators, although scared by their ordeal, felt a profound sense of relief. Ravenswood, no longer overshadowed by the mansion's dark past, embraced a newfound peace. The tale of the haunted house became a cautionary legend, a story parents whispered to their children to teach them the importance of bravery in the face of fear. The family members and investigators, although forever changed by their experience, found solace in the knowledge that they had confronted and overcome true evil. Their story served as a beacon of hope for others facing supernatural threats, reminding them that even the darkest nightmares could be vanquished with courage and determination. In the years that followed, the investigators compiled their experiences into a series of paranormal chronicles. Their books became bestsellers, detailing the horrors they had faced and the rituals they had performed to combat malevolent entities. Their expertise garnered worldwide recognition, and they became sought-after experts in the field of paranormal research, helping others battle supernatural forces and find solace in the face of the unknown. Despite the cleansing of the mansion, potential homebuyers approached the property with caution. Its dark history still lingered in the town's memory, dissuading all but the most daring from considering it as a residence. The mansion, once a symbol of opulence, stood empty, its halls echoing with the whispers of the past. Occasionally, late at night, passers-by claimed to hear faint whispers coming from the mansion's windows. Some believed it to be the wind playing tricks on their ears, while others insisted that it was the lost souls of the past occupants, trapped between realms. Regardless of the truth, the mansion's reputation as a haunted house endured, its legend woven into the fabric of Ravenswood's history. One of the investigators, haunted by the memories of the haunted house, carried a deep sense of regret. They questioned whether they had done enough, whether there was more they could have done to help the family and the tortured spirits within the mansion. The investigators' nights were plagued by nightmares, each one a reminder of the horrors they had witnessed. Years later, a member of the family who had once lived in the haunted house returned to Ravenswood. They claimed to have heard a distressing call in their dreams, a plea for help from the spirits they had left behind. Determined to set things right, they ventured into the mansion, armed with knowledge passed down through generations and a heart full of courage. Inside the mansion, the family member encountered residual hauntings, echoes of the past imprinted on the very fabric of the building. They witnessed scenes from the house's dark history, feeling the pain and despair of the spirits trapped within the residual energy. Undeterred, they continued deeper into the mansion, guided by an otherworldly force. In the mansion's heart, the family member encountered the restless spirits of the cult members who had once occupied the house. These spirits, tormented by their past actions, revealed the truth behind the cult's rituals and the malevolent entity they had sought to unleash. The family member listened, their heart heavy with empathy for the lost souls. Driven by compassion, the family member performed a ritual of redemption, guiding the spirits toward peace and forgiveness. The ritual was a beacon of light within the darkness, breaking the cycle of torment that had bound the spirits to the mansion. One by one, the spirits found solace and moved on, their anguished cries fading into whispers of gratitude. With the redemption of the spirits, the mansion seemed to sigh in relief. Its walls, once heavy with the weight of sorrow, now radiated a sense of tranquility. The family member, their purpose fulfilled, left the mansion with a newfound sense of closure. The haunted house, once a place of fear, had finally found rest, its troubled spirits released from their eternal torment. In the attic of the mansion, hidden beneath a pile of dusty old books, the family member discovered a diary belonging to the cult leader. The diary contained detailed accounts of the rituals performed within the mansion, as well as the cult leader's descent into madness. It shed light on the origins of the malevolent entity and the desperation that had driven the cult to unleash such darkness upon the world. As the family member delved deeper into the diary's pages, they unearthed a final revelation, a prophecy foretelling the return of the malevolent entity. The prophecy spoke of a celestial alignment, a convergence of cosmic forces that would grant the entity unparalleled power. The family member realized that the battle was far from over, and the haunted house's darkest secret was yet to be revealed. The celestial alignment, described in the diary, drew near. The night sky was painted with hues of crimson and indigo, signaling the imminent convergence of cosmic forces. The town of Ravenswood, unaware of the impending danger, went about its daily routine, oblivious to the supernatural threat that loomed over their very existence. As the celestial convergence reached its peak, the malevolent entity returned, its form more terrifying than ever. It materialized within the mansion, its presence suffocating and its eyes gleaming with ancient hatred. The entity's return sent shockwaves through the town, as if a dark cloud had settled over Ravenswood, casting a shadow upon the once peaceful community. The family member, now aware of the entity's return, tried to warn the townsfolk. They spoke of the haunted house's dark history, of the rituals and prophecies that foretold the entity's return. Some listened in fear, while others dismissed the warnings as mere superstition. The family member, undeterred by skepticism, gathered a group of brave souls willing to face the supernatural threat head-on. The brave group ventured into the mansion, armed with ancient relics and knowledge passed down through generations. They knew that the entity had to be stopped before its malevolence spread beyond the mansion's walls. The battle that ensued was fierce, the entity's power clashing against the combined strength of the group. The very foundation of the mansion trembled as the supernatural forces clashed in a struggle for dominance. In the midst of the battle, the family member uncovered a ritual of containment within the cult leader's diary. The ritual, if performed correctly, could trap the entity within a prison of eternal darkness. With the group holding back the entity's relentless assault, the family member began the ritual, chanting ancient incantations and drawing intricate symbols in the air. As the ritual reached its climax, the entity lashed out in fury, its power intensifying in a final attempt to break free. One of the brave souls, recognizing the imminent danger, made the ultimate sacrifice. With a heroic act of selflessness, they shielded the family member, allowing them to complete the ritual just in time. In a blinding flash of light, the ritual took effect. The mansion shook violently as the entity was pulled into a vortex of darkness, its roars of rage fading into distant echoes. The mansion itself seemed to exhale, its malevolent aura dissipating into the night. The brave group emerged from the battle scared but victorious, their bravery saving not only themselves but the entire town of Ravenswood. With the entity imprisoned, the family member and the brave group performed a sealing ritual on the mansion. Ancient symbols glowed on the walls, forming an impenetrable barrier that would prevent any supernatural entity from ever entering or leaving the haunted house. Ravenswood, once plagued by the mansion's curse, was finally free from its dark influence. In the aftermath of the battle, Ravenswood flourished. The town's prosperity returned, and its residents lived without the fear that had once gripped their hearts. The haunted house, now a symbol of triumph over evil, stood as a testament to the town's resilience. The family member and the brave group were hailed as heroes, their story inspiring generations to come. Although the entity was imprisoned and the haunted house sealed, echoes of the past lingered. Occasionally, on stormy nights, faint whispers could be heard, carried on the wind. Some claimed to see glimpses of shadowy figures in the mansion's windows, but these occurrences were rare and fleeting. Ravenswood, while no longer haunted, bore the scars of its dark history, a reminder of the bravery it took to banish the malevolent entity and restore peace to the once troubled town. In the quiet town of Ravenbrook, nestled deep in the woods, an eerie howl pierced the night. The townsfolk dismissed it as a wild animal, but deep down, a primal fear clawed at their hearts, for they knew this was no ordinary creature. With every full moon, Ravenbrook fell silent, fearing the werewolf that haunted their midst. Each month, a villager would vanish, leaving behind only traces of a struggle. The town was gripped by terror, as the disappearances continued unabated, shrouded in mystery. Amidst the fear, an enigmatic stranger arrived in Ravenbrook. His eyes held ancient secrets, and his demeanor hinted at a familiarity with the supernatural. The townsfolk eyed him with suspicion, wondering if he was the key to understanding the terror that gripped their town. The enigmatic stranger revealed the truth. The werewolf was not a random curse, but a legacy passed down through generations. The creature was once a human, cursed by an ancient ritual gone awry. The town was now plagued by this monstrous heritage, with the werewolf bound by blood to Ravenbrook. On the night of the next full moon, the werewolf's howl echoed through the town once more. The enigmatic stranger, armed with silver weapons and ancient incantations, led a group of brave villagers on a moonlit hunt. They ventured deep into the woods, determined to confront the creature and end the curse that held Ravenbrook captive. Under the eerie glow of the full moon, the werewolf attacked. A ferocious battle ensued, where silver clashed against claw, and ancient magic met primal rage. The woods became a battleground, with the fate of Ravenbrook hanging in the balance. The enigmatic stranger's knowledge proved invaluable as they fought to subdue the werewolf. In the midst of the battle, a moment of clarity struck the werewolf. With a final, desperate howl, the creature transformed back into a human, the town's beloved blacksmith, cursed by a vengeful spirit centuries ago. The enigmatic stranger, with a heavy heart, revealed the tragic tale of the curse's origins, weaving a tale of betrayal and ancient grudges. As the curse lifted, the spirit that had bound the blacksmith to his monstrous fate emerged. Fueled by centuries of bitterness, it lashed out, threatening to consume Ravenbrook in its rage. The enigmatic stranger and the villagers faced a new challenge, battling a vengeful spirit with power that surpassed anything they had ever encountered. The enigmatic stranger devised a daring plan, a ritual of binding that would trap the vengeful spirit and prevent it from wreaking havoc on Ravenbrook. The ritual required a delicate balance of ancient chants, sacred symbols, and the combined willpower of the villagers. They gathered in the town square, ready to confront the spirit and protect their home. The ritual commenced, and the villagers chanted in unison, their voices rising against the spirit's angry wails. The enigmatic stranger, drawing upon ancient knowledge, faced the spirit in a battle of wills. The very fabric of reality trembled as they struggled, each determined to prevail. The fate of Ravenbrook hung in the balance. In the midst of the battle of wills, a courageous villager stepped forward, a descendant of the spirit's original enemy. With tears in their eyes, they offered a heartfelt apology, acknowledging the pain and injustice that had fueled the spirit's rage. The spirit, moved by this act of genuine remorse, hesitated, allowing the enigmatic stranger to complete the ritual. The spirit's rage dissolved into a mournful sigh, and it was enveloped by a blinding light. The vengeful entity transformed, its features softening into an expression of peace. The enigmatic stranger, with a heavy heart, whispered words of redemption, guiding the spirit towards the afterlife, where it could find solace at last. Ravenbrook was free from the spirit's wrath. With the curse lifted and the vengeful spirit at rest, Ravenbrook began to heal. The town's once somber atmosphere transformed into one of hope and renewal. The enigmatic stranger, their purpose fulfilled, bid farewell to the town, leaving behind a legacy of courage and resilience. Years passed, and the events that had unfolded in Ravenbrook became a distant memory, fading into the realm of folklore. The enigmatic stranger became a figure of legend, their true identity lost to time. Yet the town's resilience endured, and the lessons learned during those dark days were passed down through generations. In the quiet town of Ravenbrook, whispers of a new threat emerged. But darkness, ancient and malevolent, threatened to engulf the town. Just as despair began to settle, the enigmatic stranger returned, their eyes still holding the weight of centuries. Ravenbrook's residents, now familiar with supernatural threats, welcomed their return, knowing that their savior had come once more. The enigmatic stranger revealed an ancient prophecy, a tale of a chosen one destined to face the malevolent force that plagued Ravenbrook. This chosen one, marked by a unique birthmark, possessed the power to banish the darkness once and for all. The town searched for this destined hero, their hopes resting on the shoulders of a single individual. The chosen one was found, a humble blacksmith's apprentice named Lily, marked by a mysterious birthmark resembling a crescent moon. Reluctant and unsure, Lily embarked on a journey under the enigmatic stranger's guidance, her heart burdened by the weight of her destiny. Ravenbrook's fate rested in her hands. The enigmatic stranger revealed the source of the malevolent force, a cursed artifact hidden deep within the town's ancient catacombs. This artifact, infused with dark magic, had awakened, corrupting the very earth beneath Ravenbrook. Lily, armed with newfound knowledge and a determination to protect her home, ventured into the catacombs, ready to face the darkness head-on. In the depths of the catacombs, Lily encountered shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. Whispers filled the air, echoing with ancient curses and long-forgotten sorrows. The artifact's malevolence seeped into her very soul, testing her resolve. Yet Lily pressed forward, her spirit unyielding in the face of the encroaching darkness. Within the catacombs, Lily faced the Guardian of Shadows, an ethereal entity tasked with protecting the cursed artifact. The Guardian, a formidable foe, tested Lily's strength and courage. Their battle raged amidst the flickering torchlight, shadows dancing in a macabre display. Lily, driven by the love she bore for her town, emerged victorious, earning the Guardian's respect. As Lily approached the cursed artifact, the malevolent force within stirred. It whispered promises of power and glory, attempting to sway her resolve. In a moment of desperation, the artifact offered her a bargain, a chance to save her loved ones in exchange for her soul. Lily, undeterred, refused the offer, her determination shining brighter than the artifact's dark allure. The artifact, realizing that it could not break Lily's will, unleashed a final desperate attack. It conjured illusions, preying on Lily's deepest fears and insecurities. The battle shifted from physical prowess to emotional strength as Lily confronted her inner demons. With tears in her eyes and a heart full of love for her town, she dispelled the illusions, shattering the artifact's last defense. With the artifact weakened, Lily performed a purification ritual, an ancient chant that echoed through the catacombs. The very earth trembled as she channeled her energy, cleansing the artifact of its malevolence. The artifact glowed with a blinding light before finally disintegrating, leaving behind only a sense of profound relief. As the artifact's curse lifted, Ravenbrook felt the change. The once corrupted land flourished, and the shadows that had plagued the town dissipated like morning mist. Lily emerged from the catacombs, her shoulders no longer burdened by the weight of destiny. The enigmatic stranger, watching from the shadows, nodded in approval, a silent acknowledgement of her bravery. Ravenbrook welcomed Lily as a heroine, her bravery celebrated in every corner of the town. The once fearful whispers now spoke of her courage, and children grew up listening to tales of the blacksmith's apprentice who had saved their home. Lily, although humbled by the praise, remained grounded, her heart forever intertwined with Ravenbrook. Just as peace settled over Ravenbrook, an unexpected visitor arrived. The blacksmith's apprentice who had once been cursed, now freed from the werewolf's fate. The curse's removal had granted him a second chance at life, and he returned to thank Lily, the woman whose bravery had set him free. The town rejoiced at his return, witnessing a miracle born from darkness. With the darkness banished and the werewolf's curse lifted, the enigmatic stranger prepared to depart once more. Lily, now confident in her abilities, approached the stranger with gratitude in her eyes. The stranger offered a rare smile, acknowledging the strength she had discovered within herself. Their farewell was bittersweet, marked by the knowledge that Ravenbrook was now safe, thanks to Lily's bravery. In the years that followed, Lily became Ravenbrook's guardian, ensuring that the town remained safe from supernatural threats. She trained a new generation of protectors, teaching them the importance of courage, unity, and the strength found within the heart. The legacy of her bravery echoed through the town, inspiring generations to come. Ravenbrook, once a town gripped by fear, became a beacon of hope in the surrounding forest. The land, touched by Lily's bravery, blossomed into an enchanted forest, where flora and fauna thrived in harmony. Travelers spoke of the mystical aura surrounding Ravenbrook, drawing adventurers and nature enthusiasts from far and wide. In the heart of the enchanted forest, the spirits of the Guardian of Shadows and the werewolf's cursed victims lingered. Their presence, once tinged with sorrow, was now serene, a reflection of the peace they had found. The unseen guardians watched over Ravenbrook, their protective influence ensuring that the town remained safe for all eternity. Ravenbrook established the Festival of Renewal, a celebration held annually to honor Lily's bravery and the town's resilience. During the festival, lanterns lit up the night sky, symbolizing the triumph of light over darkness. Ravenbrook's residents and visitors alike gathered to share stories, dance, and revel in the newfound harmony that had enveloped their lives. Ravenbrook's story became a cherished tale, passed down through generations. Travelers and bards carried the tale to distant lands, spreading the legend of Lily's bravery and the town's triumph over the supernatural. Ravenbrook became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the face of the darkest night, the light of courage could guide the way. During one of the festivals of renewal, an unexpected visitor arrived in Ravenbrook, a young woman with a birthmark resembling the crescent moon. Her arrival stirred whispers among the townsfolk, for they recognized the mark as the same one that had once identified Lily as the chosen one. The town watched with anticipation, wondering if a new chapter in their supernatural history was about to unfold. As the young woman settled into Ravenbrook, shadows began to creep back into the town. Eerie howls echoed through the night, and villagers reported strange sightings in the enchanted forest. Fear gripped the town once more, as the supernatural threats they thought banished started to resurface. The young woman, now aware of her destiny, steeled herself for the battles ahead. Under the guidance of Ravenbrook's seasoned protectors, the young woman began her training. She studied ancient texts, honed her combat skills, and learned the ways of magic. The town rallied behind her, recognizing her as the new chosen one destined to protect Ravenbrook from the rising shadows. The source of the renewed darkness was unveiled, an ancient relic rumored to hold the essence of a malevolent entity. The relic, hidden within the heart of the enchanted forest, corrupted the very land it touched. The young woman, fueled by determination, led a group of brave villagers on a quest to retrieve the relic and banish the malevolent entity once and for all. The malevolent entity, aware of the young woman's quest, devised a sinister plot. It sent shadowy minions to hinder her progress, creating illusions that tested her resolve. The young woman and her companions faced trials that pushed them to their limits, forcing them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities. At the heart of the enchanted forest, the young woman and her companions encountered the guardian of the relic, a powerful entity tasked with protecting the cursed artifact. The guardian, although bound to its duty, sensed the young woman's pure heart and recognized her as the true guardian of Ravenbrook. It challenged her, testing her worthiness to wield the relic's power. The guardian devised a trial of virtues, a series of challenges that evaluated the young woman's courage, compassion, and wisdom. She faced illusions that mirrored her past mistakes and regrets, forcing her to confront her own humanity. In the face of these trials, the young woman demonstrated unwavering courage, kindness, and wisdom, proving her worthiness to confront the malevolent entity. With the guardian's approval, the young woman approached the cursed relic. The artifact pulsed with dark energy, attempting to ensnare her mind with promises of power. Drawing upon her training and the lessons learned from Ravenbrook's history, she channeled her inner strength, purifying the relic with a blinding light. The malevolent entity's influence waned, leaving the relic cleansed of darkness. Empowered by the purified relic, the young woman confronted the malevolent entity. A battle of epic proportions ensued, shaking the very foundations of the enchanted forest. The entity unleashed its full wrath, manifesting as shadows, illusions, and bone-chilling whispers. The young woman, now fully embracing her role as Ravenbrook's guardian, stood her ground, refusing to yield to the darkness. In the midst of the battle, one of the young woman's companions made the ultimate sacrifice. With a selfless act of bravery, they protected her from a lethal blow, succumbing to the entity's wrath in her stead. Their sacrifice infused the young woman with newfound determination, strengthening her resolve to banish the malevolent entity once and for all. Fueled by grief, determination, and the memories of her fallen companion, the young woman unleashed the relic's power. Light engulfed the forest, dispelling the shadows and banishing the malevolent entity into the depths of oblivion. The enchanted forest, once tainted by darkness, blossomed into vibrant life, echoing with the triumphant song of birds and the gentle rustle of leaves. Ravenbrook mourned the loss of their fallen companion, honoring their sacrifice with a solemn ceremony. The young woman, although deeply saddened, found solace in the knowledge that their sacrifice had not been in vain. The town came together to celebrate their victory, recognizing the young woman as a true heroine and the savior of Ravenbrook. With the malevolent entity banished and Ravenbrook safe once more, the young woman embraced her role as the town's guardian. She vowed to protect Ravenbrook from any future threats, ensuring that the town remained a sanctuary of peace and harmony. And so, the tale of Ravenbrook, once marred by darkness, became a legend of triumph, hope, and the enduring power of courage. On a rainy evening, the sky hung heavy with storm clouds, casting a shadow over the small town of Willowbrook. The residents, accustomed to the occasional thunderstorm, felt a peculiar unease as the raindrops tapped on their windows like ghostly fingertips. Amid the downpour, a group of adventurous teenagers dared each other to explore the abandoned mansion at the edge of town. Stories of its haunted past swirled like the mist around its decrepit walls. Despite their apprehension, they ventured inside, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. As the teenagers ventured deeper into the mansion, the ancient wooden stairs creaked beneath their weight. Each step echoed through the empty halls, creating an eerie rhythm that seemed to synchronize with the beating of their hearts. Unseen eyes watched their every move from the shadows. Among the dust-covered relics, they found a diary belonging to a former resident, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and ominous warnings. The more they read, the more they sensed a malevolent presence lurking within the mansion, a force tied to a cursed ritual conducted decades ago. A haunting melody filled the air, echoing through the mansion's halls. The teenagers followed the sound, drawn deeper into the heart of the mansion. The melody seemed to have a life of its own, pulling them towards an ancient piano, its keys moving as if played by invisible fingers. In the flickering candlelight, they saw a ghostly apparition at the piano, a woman in a tattered gown, her eyes hollow voids of despair. She played the melancholic tune, her spectral fingers dancing on the keys. The teenagers were paralyzed with fear, unable to escape the ghostly performance. Whispers filled the air, murmurs of long-forgotten secrets and drowned sorrows. The mansion itself seemed to come alive, its walls absorbing the tales of tragedy and despair. The whispers grew louder, drowning out the sounds of the rain, as if the very essence of the mansion yearned to share its dark history. In the dim light, the portraits adorning the walls appeared to come alive. The eyes of the painted figures followed the teenagers, their expressions twisted into malevolent grins. Each portrait seemed to tell a story of madness and murder, leaving the intruders with a sense of impending doom. One by one, the teenagers began to disappear, swallowed by the mansion's malevolence. Their screams echoed briefly before being swallowed by the howling wind and rain. Those left behind felt an overwhelming sense of isolation, as if the mansion itself had devoured their friends. The remaining teenagers discovered a hidden chamber deep within the mansion, a room adorned with occult symbols and sacrificial artifacts. It was the very place where the cursed ritual had taken place decades ago. The atmosphere grew suffocating, and a presence, ancient and vengeful, made its presence known. In the ritual chamber, they experienced terrifying visions, glimpses into the past when the mansion was a place of unholy ceremonies. They witnessed the spirits of the sacrificed, their anguished cries reverberating through time. The teenagers realized they were trapped in a nightmarish loop, forced to relive the mansion's darkest moments. Desperate to escape, one of the teenagers made a desperate bargain with the darkness. In exchange for freedom, they offered their soul to the malevolent force that lurked within the mansion. The atmosphere shifted, and an unholy alliance was forged, sealing their fate with the ancient evil. With the bargain struck, the mansion seemed to come alive with malevolent energy. Shadows twisted and writhed, forming grotesque shapes that taunted the remaining teenagers. The atmosphere became charged with dark power, and the very walls of the mansion seemed to pulsate with an unholy heartbeat. One of the teenagers, weakened by fear and despair, succumbed to the mansion's influence. Their body became a vessel for the vengeful spirit, their eyes turning pitch black as the entity took control. The possessed teenager became an instrument of the mansion's wrath, lashing out at the others with supernatural strength. The remaining teenagers, their numbers dwindling, devised a plan to break the mansion's curse. Armed with the knowledge from the mysterious diary, they embarked on a perilous journey to find the ritual's source of power, a cursed amulet hidden within the mansion. Their path was fraught with traps and apparitions, testing their courage and determination. Upon finding the cursed amulet, its malevolence latched onto their souls like a leech. Its dark power threatened to consume them, whispering promises of unimaginable power in exchange for their allegiance. The teenagers resisted, their will stronger than the amulet's influence, and they forged ahead with their plan to destroy it. In the ritual chamber, the teenagers confronted the possessed companion and the malevolent force controlling them. A battle of wills and supernatural abilities ensued, shaking the very foundation of the mansion. The possessed teenager, caught between their own consciousness and the vengeful spirit, fought against the entity's control. In a moment of clarity, the possessed teenager resisted the vengeful spirit's influence, allowing their companions to perform a ritual of purification. The ritual, fueled by self-sacrifice and remorse, severed the spirit's connection to the mortal realm. The mansion trembled as the vengeful force was banished, leaving behind an eerie silence. With the malevolent force vanquished, the mansion fell silent, its dark energy dissipating like morning mist. The rain outside ceased, and a glimmer of moonlight pierced the clouds, casting a pale glow on the now hallowed halls. The surviving teenagers, bruised and shaken, breathed a sigh of relief. The weight of the mansion's curse finally lifted. Although the mansion was now free from its malevolent influence, lingering echoes of the past remained. The spirits of those who had suffered within its walls found peace, their anguished cries replaced by a gentle whisper of gratitude. The town of Willowbrook, once shrouded in fear, now bore witness to the mansion's redemption. In the days that followed, the survivors returned to their lives, forever changed by the horrors they had endured. The memory of that rainy evening haunted their dreams, a reminder of the darkness that could dwell within even the most innocent-looking places. Yet they also carried with them a newfound strength, having faced the supernatural and emerged victorious. As the years passed, the events of that fateful evening became a vanishing mystery in the town's history. Some dismissed it as mere folklore, while others whispered of the mansion's true nature in hushed tones. The survivors, now adults, rarely spoke of their ordeal, choosing to leave the past behind. Decades later, a curious historian stumbled upon the diaries of the mansion's former residents, hidden away in a forgotten archive. The diaries revealed the tragic tale of a family torn apart by supernatural forces, shedding light on the origins of the mansion's curse. The historian's discovery sparked renewed interest in Willowbrook's haunted history. Intrigued by the diaries, a paranormal investigator arrived in Willowbrook, determined to uncover the truth behind the mansion's dark past. Armed with advanced equipment and a keen intuition, they delved into the town's archives, piecing together the events of that rainy evening with meticulous care. As the investigator delved deeper, shadows from the past resurfaced, manifesting as poltergeist activity and ghostly apparitions. The mansion, though free from its malevolent force, still bore scars of its haunted history. The investigator, undeterred by the supernatural occurrences, pressed on, determined to unveil the mansion's secrets. During a midnight investigation, the investigator uncovered a hidden chamber beneath the mansion, untouched by time. Within its walls, they found evidence of forbidden rituals and occult practices, suggesting a darker purpose behind the mansion's construction. The revelation sent shivers down their spine, realizing that the mansion's curse ran deeper than anyone had imagined. With the discovery of the hidden chamber, the malevolent force that had once plagued the mansion stirred from its slumber. It lashed out at the investigator, its supernatural wrath fueled by centuries of anger and resentment. The investigator barely escaped with their life, fleeing the mansion's cursed grounds. Terrified and desperate for help, the investigator sought out a renowned psychic medium, hoping to find a way to banish the mansion's lingering malevolence once and for all. The medium, sensitive to the supernatural energies, felt the darkness that clung to the investigator and agreed to assist them in their perilous endeavor. Together, the investigator and the psychic medium ventured back into the mansion, armed with ancient wards and incantations. The psychic medium reached out to the vengeful spirit, attempting to soothe its anger and guide it towards the light. The mansion, sensing their intrusion, fought back with all its spectral might. In a battle of wills and psychic strength, the psychic medium confronted the vengeful spirit. Their minds clashed in a storm of energy and emotions, each trying to overpower the other. The investigator provided support, reinforcing the psychic medium's efforts with their own determination and resilience. With the vengeful spirit on the brink of oblivion, the psychic medium performed a redemption ritual, channeling positive energy to cleanse the mansion's lingering malevolence. The ritual was a delicate balance of compassion and strength, aiming to free both the spirit and the mansion from the darkness that bound them. As the ritual reached its climax, the mansion quaked with supernatural force. The vengeful spirit let out a final anguished cry before dissipating into the ether. The curse that had plagued the mansion for centuries shattered like glass, leaving behind a sense of peace that permeated its very foundations. Outside, the rain that had once been a harbinger of dread now fell with a tranquil gentleness. The storm clouds dispersed, revealing a clear night sky studded with stars. The town of Willowbrook, once overshadowed by the mansion's curse, felt the weight of the darkness lifted, replaced by an atmosphere of serenity. With the malevolence banished, the mansion became a symbol of resilience and redemption. Its halls, once haunted by despair, now echoed with whispers of gratitude from the spirits that had found peace. The town of Willowbrook embraced its newly found tranquility, honoring the memory of the souls who had suffered within the mansion's walls. In the aftermath of the ordeal, the investigator and the psychic medium reflected on the lessons learned. They realized the importance of empathy and understanding in the face of supernatural forces. The experience had strengthened their belief in the power of compassion, showing them that even the most malevolent spirits could find redemption with the right approach. The town of Willowbrook, once a haunt of supernatural fear, became a beacon of hope and resilience. The events of that rainy evening were etched into the town's history, a reminder of the darkness that could be overcome with courage and determination. The mansion, once a symbol of dread, stood as a testament to the triumph of the human spirit over malevolence. The story of the mansion's redemption spread far and wide, inspiring others to confront their own haunted pasts with bravery and compassion. The investigator and the psychic medium, now renowned in their field, dedicated themselves to helping others plagued by supernatural forces, offering their expertise and understanding to those in need. In the quiet hours of the night, the spirits of the mansion's former residents lingered, their presence no longer tinged with anguish. They watched over the town of Willowbrook with gratitude, their spectral forms bathed in a soft, ethereal light. The living might never see them, but their unseen presence was a comforting presence, a reminder of the bonds forged between the living and the departed. With the mansion's curse lifted, the town of Willowbrook experienced a newfound prosperity. Families moved back into once abandoned homes, businesses flourished, and a sense of community thrived. The rainy evening, once a source of dread, was now remembered as the night that brought about a new dawn for the town. There was a belief among the townsfolk that whenever it rained in Willowbrook, it was a sign of the spirit's blessings. The raindrops, once feared, were now seen as a gentle caress from the other side, a reminder of the supernatural forces that had once tested the town's resilience and had ultimately been vanquished by the strength of the human spirit. Years later, a child exploring the attic of a renovated house discovered a forgotten diary hidden among dusty old books. The diary contained the memoirs of one of the mansion's former residents, shedding light on the lives of those who had once called it home. The child, fascinated by the tale, shared the diary's contents with their family, ensuring that the mansion's history would never be forgotten. The bonds forged among the survivors, the investigator, and the psychic medium endured through the years. They remained friends, bound by the shared experience that had tested their courage and compassion. The memory of that rainy evening became a thread that connected them, a reminder of the supernatural mysteries they had unraveled together. One day, a visitor from a distant land arrived in Willowbrook, drawn by the town's reputation for overcoming supernatural adversity. The visitor sought out the survivors, hoping to learn from their experiences. The survivors welcomed them warmly, sharing their story and the lessons they had gleaned from the haunted mansion's redemption. The survivors, once haunted by the mansion's malevolence, became the unofficial guardians of Willowbrook. They mentored others who faced supernatural threats, offering guidance and support to those in need. Their reputation spread far and wide, and people from neighboring towns sought their counsel when confronted by the unknown. As the years passed, the story of that rainy evening became a cherished legend in Willowbrook. The town, once overshadowed by fear, had transformed into a haven of resilience and unity. The mansion, once a place of dread, stood as a testament to the enduring power of hope and compassion. And so, the tale of the haunted mansion and the courage of its inhabitants lived on, a beacon of light in the face of darkness. In the quiet town of Eldenwood, a relic of unspeakable power was unearthed by a curious archaeologist. Unbeknownst to them, their discovery awakened a malevolent demon that had been imprisoned for centuries. The demon, hungry for revenge, set its sights on Eldenwood, ready to unleash chaos and despair upon the town. As the demon's influence spread, the town's residents began to hear sinister whispers in the wind. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and a sense of dread settled over Eldenwood. People started to go missing, their disappearances shrouded in mystery. The town's once cheerful atmosphere was replaced by an air of unease. A mysterious stranger arrived in Eldenwood, their eyes filled with ancient knowledge and a darkness that seemed to mirror the demon's own. The townsfolk, desperate for help, turned to the stranger, unaware of the secrets they carried. The stranger offered to confront the demon, but their true intentions remained veiled in shadows. The demon, reveling in the fear it had instilled, approached vulnerable souls in their dreams. It offered them power, wealth, and unimaginable desires in exchange for their loyalty. Those who succumbed to the demon's temptations became its servants, spreading chaos and furthering its malevolent agenda. A group of brave individuals, aware of the growing darkness, sought ancient texts and rituals to protect Eldenwood. They discovered a powerful warding spell that could potentially banish the demon back to the abyss from whence it came. The group, fueled by determination and desperation, prepared to cast the spell and save their town. On the night of the blood moon, when the veil between worlds was at its thinnest, the group performed the protective warding ritual. The air crackled with dark energy as they chanted incantations, creating a barrier of light that enveloped Eldenwood. For a moment, it seemed like they had succeeded, but the demon's laughter echoed through the night, indicating that the battle was far from over. Enraged by the attempted warding, the demon unleashed its full fury upon Eldenwood. Buildings crumbled, and the very ground shook as the demon's demonic minions wreaked havoc. The town's defenders fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. Desperation filled the air as Eldenwood teetered on the brink of destruction. In a desperate attempt to save their town, the group of defenders researched an ancient ritual that required a sacrificial offering. One among them would have to sacrifice themselves to fuel the ritual's power. The weight of the decision hung heavy on their hearts as they chose a willing volunteer, their bravery shining through their tear-filled eyes. With a heavy heart, the chosen hero embraced their fate. They stood in the center of the ritual circle, their eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and determination. The group chanted the incantations, channeling the hero's sacrifice into the ritual. The hero's body glowed with ethereal light before dissipating into the very essence of the spell, empowering it with unparalleled strength. Empowered by the hero's sacrifice, the protective warding spell reached its peak. A blinding light enveloped Eldenwood, forcing the demon and its minions to retreat. Their roars of fury echoed through the night as they were banished back to the depths of the abyss. Eldenwood was saved, but the cost of victory weighed heavily on the town's heart. Eldenwood mourned the loss of their hero, their sacrifice forever etched into the town's history. The hero's name became a symbol of bravery and selflessness, whispered by parents to their children as a reminder of the town's resilience. The group of defenders, now scared by the battle, vowed to protect Eldenwood from any future threats, their bond strengthened by their shared loss. Meanwhile, in the depths of the abyss, the demon seethed with anger and humiliation. It vowed vengeance upon Eldenwood, its hatred burning brighter than ever. The demon began plotting its return, seeking allies among the most malevolent creatures in the supernatural realm. Its eyes glowed with unholy fervor as it devised a plan to unleash a terror unlike anything Eldenwood had ever seen. The demon forged alliances with dark witches, vengeful spirits, and monstrous creatures that lurked in the shadows. Together, they concocted a scheme to weaken Eldenwood's defenses and create chaos within the town. The demon's newfound allies, drawn to its promise of power, eagerly joined the unholy alliance, their collective malevolence pooling into a force that would soon descend upon Eldenwood. The demon's alliance located cursed artifacts scattered throughout the world, each containing a fraction of the demon's essence. These artifacts, when brought together, would amplify the demon's power and weaken the protective wards around Eldenwood. The Alliance embarked on a sinister quest, stealing the artifacts from their guardians and preparing for the ritual that would herald the demon's return. As the cursed artifacts were brought together, Eldenwood's protective wards began to weaken. Cracks formed in the once impenetrable barrier, allowing dark energies to seep into the town. Residents reported unsettling nightmares, and the sinister whispers returned, carrying promises of doom. Eldenwood's defenders sensed the growing threat and prepared for the battle that loomed on the horizon. Eldenwood's defenders, aware of the weakening wards, stood vigilant against the encroaching darkness. They patrolled the town's borders, their eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of the demon's return. The town's residents, sensing the impending danger, rallied behind their protectors, determined to face the demon and its alliance head-on. On the night of dread, when the stars aligned in an ominous pattern, the demon's alliance launched their assault. Dark creatures swarmed Eldenwood, their eyes ablaze with unholy fervor. The town's defenders fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered and overwhelmed. Eldenwood's streets became a battleground, echoing with the clash of steel and the roars of supernatural beasts. In the heart of Eldenwood, the demon's alliance began the ritual to fully unleash the demon's essence. The cursed artifacts glowed with malevolent energy as the alliance chanted ancient incantations. The town's defenders, their spirits unbroken, launched a daring raid to disrupt the ritual. A fierce battle ensued, with the fate of Eldenwood hanging in the balance. Amidst the chaos, a member of the demon's alliance grew disillusioned with their malevolent cause. Seeing the destruction wrought upon Eldenwood, they turned against their former allies, aiding the town's defenders in their fight. Their betrayal tipped the scales, allowing Eldenwood's defenders to gain the upper hand and disrupt the ritual just in time. With the ritual disrupted, the demon's essence recoiled, its power diminished. The alliance, now weakened and demoralized, retreated into the shadows, vowing to regroup and seek revenge another day. Eldenwood's defenders, although victorious, knew that the demon's thirst for vengeance had not been quenched. The town remained on high alert, preparing for the inevitable return of their malevolent foe. Amidst the aftermath of the battle, Eldenwood's elders uncovered an ancient prophecy foretelling the demon's return. The prophecy spoke of a chosen one, destined to wield a legendary artifact, the Sword of Lumina, that could banish the demon once and for all. Eldenwood's residents, their hope rekindled by the prophecy, searched for the chosen one, believing that their salvation lay in finding this fabled hero. A young villager named Eerie, marked by a mysterious birthmark, discovered her connection to the Sword of Lumina. As the town learned of her destiny, Eerie's life changed forever. She underwent rigorous training, honing her combat skills and mastering ancient incantations. Eldenwood's defenders became her mentors, guiding her toward the momentous battle that awaited. Eerie embarked on a quest to find the Sword of Lumina, a legendary weapon said to be forged from the essence of pure light. Her journey led her to treacherous terrains, ancient temples, and forgotten tombs. Along the way, she faced trials that tested her courage and resolve, each challenge bringing her one step closer to claiming the sword and fulfilling her destiny. At the heart of the Forbidden Forest, Eerie encountered the Shadowed Guardian, a mysterious entity guarding the Sword of Lumina. The Guardian tested Eerie's worthiness, questioning her motives and probing her heart. Eerie, fueled by her determination to protect Eldenwood, proved her mettle, earning the Guardian's respect and the right to wield the Sword of Lumina. With the Sword of Lumina in hand, Eerie returned to Eldenwood, her arrival heralded by a renewed sense of hope. Eldenwood's defenders rallied behind her, rekindling their alliance and preparing for the final battle against the demon. The town, once shrouded in fear, now buzzed with anticipation, its residents ready to face the looming threat head-on. The demon, sensing the Sword of Lumina's presence, grew impatient. It hatched a daring plan to ascend to a new form, one that would grant it unimaginable power and render it invincible against mortal weapons. Eldenwood's defenders, aware of the demon's plot, braced themselves for a battle that would test their strength, wits, and unity like never before. In a cataclysmic battle, Eldenwood's defenders confronted the demon as it underwent its ascension ritual. Dark energies crackled through the air as the demon transformed, its malevolent laughter echoing through the battlefield. Eerie, wielding the Sword of Lumina, led the charge, her determination unwavering in the face of the demon's newfound might. The Sword of Lumina glowed with a brilliant light, its essence counteracting the demon's darkness. Eerie channeled the sword's power, striking with precision and ferocity. Eldenwood's defenders fought alongside her, their unity and bravery pushing back against the demon's onslaught. The battle raged, the clash of weapons and magic echoing through the forest. In a desperate gambit, the demon attempted to merge its essence with Eldenwood itself, seeking to corrupt the very land the town stood upon. Eerie, sensing the impending disaster, channeled the Sword of Lumina's power in a blinding strike, disrupting the fusion ritual. The forest quaked, the ground trembled, and for a moment, it seemed like Eldenwood and the demon were locked in a battle for the town's very soul. Eldenwood, a town united in purpose, sacrificed its very essence to repel the demon's corruption. The trees glowed with ethereal light, and the land itself fought back against the demon's malevolence. Eerie, fueled by the town's sacrifice, launched a final devastating attack. The Sword of Lumina pierced the demon's heart, banishing it with a blinding explosion of light. With the demon banished and the sacrifice of Eldenwood's essence, the town stood on the brink of renewal. The corrupted land healed, flowers bloomed, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of life. Eldenwood's defenders, although mourning the sacrifice, felt a profound sense of pride and gratitude. The town had faced its greatest challenge and emerged victorious. Eerie, hailed as a heroine, became Eldenwood's guardian. She vowed to protect the town, ensuring that its newfound peace endured. The Sword of Lumina, now a symbol of hope and bravery, was placed in Eldenwood's center, a reminder of the town's resilience. Eerie's story echoed through the generations, inspiring future defenders and reminding them of the power of unity and courage. However, remnants of the demon's essence still lingered, hidden in the shadows. Eldenwood's defenders, ever vigilant, hunted down these cursed remnants, ensuring that the demon's influence would never seep back into their town. Their battles were quieter, but no less fierce, as they protected Eldenwood from the remnants' malevolent schemes. Years later, an unexpected visitor arrived in Eldenwood, a scholar well-versed in demonology. Intrigued by the town's history, the scholar sought to understand the events that had transpired. Eldenwood's residents welcomed them, sharing their tales of bravery and sacrifice. Unbeknownst to the town, the scholar harbored a secret, a personal vendetta against demons, their family having been victims of a similar malevolence. The scholar, now armed with knowledge from Eldenwood's history, embarked on a quest to hunt down other demons and protect vulnerable towns from similar fates. They traveled far and wide, their expertise and determination making them a formidable foe against the supernatural. Eldenwood's legacy lived on through the scholar's actions, ensuring that the town's sacrifice was never forgotten. Decades passed, and Eldenwood remained a beacon of peace. However, whispers of the demon's return spread through the supernatural realm. The demon, its essence slowly reforming, plotted its revenge against the town that had banished it. Eldenwood's protectors, now seasoned and wise, sensed the growing darkness and prepared for the inevitable confrontation. The demon, learning from its past failures, devised a new plan. It sought forbidden knowledge, uncovering a ritual that would grant it unparalleled power. With newfound cunning, the demon enacted the ritual, ascending to a form even more terrifying than before. Its eyes glowed with unholy fervor as it set its sights on Eldenwood, ready to exact its vengeance. Under the shadow of an eldritch eclipse, a rare celestial event that amplified supernatural energies, the demon launched its assault on Eldenwood. Dark clouds blanketed the sky, and the air crackled with malevolent energy. Eldenwood's defenders, recognizing the significance of the eclipse, prepared for a battle that would test their very limits. Eldenwood's protectors, aware of the eclipse's influence on the demon's power, erected a powerful enchanted barrier around the town. The barrier glowed with ancient runes, fueled by the town's collective determination to protect their home. As the demon's forces clashed against the barrier, a fierce battle ensued, the barrier holding firm against the onslaught. Amidst the chaos, a young heir to Eldenwood's lineage, marked by a unique birthright, emerged as the town's new hope. Their eyes held the wisdom of their ancestors, and their heart beat with unwavering determination. The town's protectors recognized the heir's potential, guiding them in the ways of combat and magic. The heir embraced their destiny, ready to face the demon and safeguard Eldenwood's future. The town's protectors, guided by ancient prophecies, sought 3 powerful relics scattered across the realm. These relics, infused with the essence of Eldenwood's history, held the key to combating the demon's ascended form. The protectors embarked on a perilous quest, facing traps, riddles, and malevolent guardians to retrieve the relics and empower the heir for the final battle. With the relics in hand, Eldenwood's protectors performed the ritual of empowerment. The relics glowed with ethereal light, channeling the town's essence into the chosen heir. The heir's abilities expanded, their connection to Eldenwood deepening, as they embraced the collective strength of their ancestors. Armed with newfound power, the heir prepared to face the demon in a battle that would determine the town's fate. As the eclipse reached its zenith, the demon launched a direct assault on Eldenwood's heart, the ancient tree at the town's center, which held the essence of the town's magic. The heir, their senses honed by the relic's power, sensed the demon's malevolence and rushed to defend the tree. The battle that ensued was fierce, the very ground trembling beneath the clash of titanic forces. In a heartbreaking moment of desperation, the heir made the ultimate sacrifice to protect Eldenwood's heart. They channeled the relic's power, merging their essence with the ancient tree. The sacrifice infused the tree with unparalleled strength, creating a barrier of pure magic that repelled the demon's assault. The heir's sacrifice, although tragic, ensured that Eldenwood's heart remained unscathed. Empowered by the sacrifice, the hare faced the demon in a final cataclysmic battle. Eldenwood's protectors fought alongside them, their skills honed by years of training and their spirits unyielding in the face of adversity. The demon, now at the peak of its power, unleashed devastating attacks, but the hare and their allies countered with unmatched determination and unity. In a blinding surge of magic, the hare struck the demon with the combined might of Eldenwood's protectors and the town's ancient relics. The eclipse shattered, its eldritch energies dissipating into the void. The demon's roars of fury echoed through the battlefield as it disintegrated into ash, its malevolent presence banished once and for all. With the demon's defeat, Eldenwood stood victorious once more. The enchanted barrier dissipated, and the eldritch eclipse's effects faded from the sky. The town's protectors, although scared by the battle, celebrated their hard-earned triumph. Eldenwood's heart pulsed with renewed magic, its essence intertwined with the hare's sacrifice, ensuring that the town would thrive for generations to come. The hare, although mourned by the town, became a revered figure in Eldenwood's history. Their sacrifice was immortalized in songs and stories, a testament to their bravery and the strength of Eldenwood's people. The town's protectors continued their vigilant watch, knowing that threats could arise from the shadows. The hare's legacy became a source of inspiration, reminding future generations of Eldenwood's resilience and the importance of unity in the face of darkness. Eldenwood, once marked by darkness, entered a new era of peace and prosperity. The town's residents rebuilt what was lost, their spirits unbroken by the trials they had faced. Eldenwood's protectors, guided by the lessons of the past, ensured that the town remained safe and thriving. The hare's sacrifice became a beacon of hope, lighting the way for a future where Eldenwood stood strong against any challenge. As the years passed, Eldenwood's tale became a legend told to children at bedtime. The town's enduring spirit, forged through sacrifice and unity, became a legacy that lived on in the hearts of its people. Eldenwood stood as a testament to the strength of community and the indomitable will to protect what was cherished. And so, the story of Eldenwood became a reminder to all that even in the face of the darkest shadows, the light of hope and bravery would always prevail.